Vice President George Bush in his bid for the Republican presidential nomination. This and more on Nightcast on the one and only Channel 9.
Good evening. This is WKBA Eyewitness News. I'm Justin Dudley from New York. Tonight's top story is marked by the passage of James Graham's 35th birthday. Graham's most recent notoriety has been generated from a series of indictments handed down yesterday by a federal grand jury. Graham was charged with securities fraud, racketeering, mail fraud, and animal husbandry. Graham has had a variety of legal problems in the last 15 years, beginning with cheating and plagiarism charges that surfaced during his attempt to secure an undergraduate degree at Virginia Tech. Tonight's cover story is being handled by Leif Noren in Washington. Leif?
Tonight's cover story are indictments and controversy. Jim Graham has spent an entire life under a cloud of controversy. Over the last 35 years, Graham has made many enemies, while associates privately acknowledge he would have to look far and wide for someone who could be labeled an ally. Here in Washington, the most recent controversy surrounding Graham has been dubbed the first scan scam. Virtually everyone on our nation's capital has an opinion on this most controversial of figures. Handed down against Jim Graham. Do you have an opinion on that?
I don't know who Jim Graham is.
Thank you. Graham.
Beg your pardon?
Your reaction to the indictments that were handed down against Jim Graham?
Well, I don't know exactly too much about it to give you a fair answer for it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. Indictments were handed down against Jim Graham yesterday.
I have no idea.
Thank you very much. The indictments were handed down against Jim Graham yesterday afternoon.
Rather not, but I appreciate it anyway.
Thank you. Or an outright pardon, which would you favor?
I'm not quite sure.
Want to make a guess?
I don't know.
Thank you very much. You were given the choice between...
I think I'd turn him loose.
Turn him loose.
I feel like God's favor.
Thank you very much.
Justice was done according to the laws of this land.
Do you have an opinion one way or the other yourself? Thank you very much. Between a presidential pardon and a jail sentence, what would you favor at this point in time?
I would have to consider more of the facts before I make a final judgment, because I said there's both pros and cons on the subject.
Okay.
And not knowing the entirety of all the cases in the situation, I would refrain from making a final judgment right now. I'd rather hear more of the facts.
Thank you very much. Handed down yesterday against Jim Graham. What do you think would be an appropriate prison sentence for these indictments?
Should be maybe 5 years, and then have another hearing to see if they can have probation.
Thank you.
At least 10 years or more, probably.
Thank you very much.
5 years.
Excuse me?
25 years.
Thank you very much.
I don't think there ought to be some prison sentence for that. I don't know how long it should be, but it should be more than a slap on the wrist or a fine. 5 years.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Life.
Life in prison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Get them off of the street.
I'm Leif Noren in Washington.
Thank you, Leif. As an adjunct to tonight's story, the WKBA staff has been able to locate an individual that attended Virginia Polytechnic Institute at the same time Graham was there. We've arranged a live interview with Craig McGargle, currently unemployed and collecting food stamps in Springfield, Virginia. Mr. McGargle, you allegedly attended certain classes with Jim Graham. Is this true?
Oh, absolutely. It was during the 73, 74, and 1975 time frame. Specifically, I took some accounting courses, an intro to geology course, and some ethics and business course with Jim Graham. I knew him well.
Well, that's quite an ambitious academic curriculum there. Can you verify any of the accusations that were levied at that time against Graham for cheating or plagiarism?
Well, boy, there were so many. Although there's one event that does stand out in particular, and that involved our geology class. Jim was borderline pass-fail during this class, and as a lab assignment, we had to chart some geological faults that ran through the campus. And it involved getting out there after class course. And that kind of incident, I think, is fairly typical of Jim Graham's behavior during college.
Well, that's pretty incredible, Mr. McGargle. Now, putting the academic environment aside, looking more at the social life in college, can you comment on the event known as the Draper's Meadow Massacre?
Oh, boy, I sure can. That made a big splash. I think it was in 74, early 74. And what that involved was an incident between two apartments. My unit, referred to as G3, and Jim Graham's apartment unit, referred to as 0007. And one night, after a pretty long party, I left, and as it turned out, my two roommates were the only ones there with the three people that lived in 0007. Well, Jim Graham apparently took advantage of this, which is pretty consistent with just his obsession with always trying to gain an edge, and took advantage of the fact that there were three of them and only two of the G3 people, and apparently gave them a pretty thorough beating. By the time they made it home, all they told me was that Jim Graham double-crossed them and really set them up bad. And that's kind of a example of the social and the academic situation in the Jim Graham college days.
That's an amazing piece of testimony into Jim's past and apparently his kind of demented character. And we appreciate the time you spent with us this evening, Mr. McGargle.
Well, I'm glad to do it, and maybe in return you can do me a favor, and that is pass the word along to him if you see him, that he still owes me $10 from some homework I did for him in this ethics and business class. I sure would appreciate it.
We sure will. And once again, thanks for being with us.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, there you have it. Tonight's top news story, Jim Graham, and a history of deceit and corruption. I'm Justin Dudley. This is KBA Eyewitness News. Thank you and good evening.